a young prince can stop it by finding the lost 13 treasures of rule. At his side is an unlikely but loyal crew of misfits. At his back, the evil pirate lord Bloth, who will stop at nothing to get the treasures for himself. It's high adventure with the Pirates of Darkwater.
Alright, welcome everybody to Back in Toons, our special edition where we're covering Pirates of Darkwater. I'm your host, Michael.
And I'm Jacob. No nicknames today. I'm too tired for that shit.
Yeah, it's been a long day for Jacob. I think the last episode I was just waking up and you're just ready to go to bed, so we're kind of whipping this one out. Maybe I shouldn't use those words.
Not an innuendo. That's not an innuendo.
No, not at all.
Please excuse me while I whip this out.
Alright, so I'm assuming by now everybody's heard at least one episode of this, but assumptions are stupid, so if you have not, I apologize. I gotta repeat this again. What we do here on Back in Toons is we watch the first episode of a cult classic cartoon series. We try to find them on YouTube. It's usually the easiest way, or Hulu. This one was a little bit harder. Pirates of Darkwater, the first episode, we found it on funnier.moments.com. You can just put in, your search engine and find it. Or if you're lucky enough, just order it from whatever DVD website you order it from. It's Pirates of Darkwater was not released in the stores. The complete series is only available through print on demand, which tends to be only through Warner Brothers or Amazon, just to give you a heads up. So it's a little hard to find.
Why?
Why? Because Warner Brothers doesn't see it as being a profitable venture and put it in stores.
But it is.
I know, your face looks so sad for a second. Yeah, I know, pirates are hot right now, so I'm kind of surprised they didn't bother. But yeah, that's...
We'll probably have to pirate it.
No, that's true. We're pirating a pirate episode right now. So basically, we're just going to talk about the show as the first episode plays. So if you want to go ahead, just gear it up, and let's begin.
I think pirating a pirate
Oh,
episode-
hold on. Okay, sorry about that. We had a little audio trouble there. I forgot to turn something down. Whoops. Alright, so Pirates of Darkwater. I have never seen this show. I thought I had. I was so sure I had seen a few episodes when it first started. But I think I just saw like the promotions for it. But you've seen quite a bit of it, right?
Yeah, I have. I remember being like a little kid, and having all the action figures too, especially Ren, who's like the main character, the prince, who goes out and, tries to find the 13 treasures of Rule, which will, I guess, save their planet. And basically, you're gonna find out here soon that this little drifter in the water, in the little boat, looks a lot like the main character. You'll notice that immediately. Like, they have the same facial recognition. So, Yeah. Anyway, Rin is able to see like the future of what could happen, like good things.
So yeah, what's funny is I wasn't paying close enough attention the first few minutes, and it slowly dawned on me. I thought maybe this was just our world, just like an exaggerated version of our world, and I thought it was really cool that they would have, your main hero not be a generic Caucasian guy, but it turns out it's like another world.
Yeah, I know. That's what it seems like too. I mean, I don't see, I don't really see water looking so purpley.
Yeah.
And
well, no, I thought maybe
giant powers like that.
I guess it's a little obvious considering he's so tan and he has like shock blonde hair. But I thought maybe they were trying to say that he was a mix of Caucasian and Hawaiian or something. Something other than your generic white guy.
Yeah. He does look. He definitely. Well, as you can see here, as he's like coming down, when you see him like come down the steps, it's like something out of Prince of Persia or Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, I mean, what I really enjoy about this, and it caught my attention immediately, is the fact that you can see every little bit of hair moving. Do you know how expensive and time-consuming it is to animate every little shred of hair?
God, yes. I mean, my hand hurts from that shit.
This is really high-end animation. This might be the most expensive thing that Hanna-Barbera did at the time. Warner Brothers had not taken over Hanna-Barbera, I believe, at this moment. It was after season 2 where they took over. But this is movie quality.
Yeah, it is. I know it's great. I know it's a great high quality cartoon. Plus, it involves pirates. Doesn't everybody have a pirate phase as they grow older? I mean, there's the cowboy phase, the pirate phase, pretty much, or destroy everything phase. I always had a Batman phase.
I had Indiana Jones phase.
That too.
I remember going around my room with a belt, pretending it was a whip, and trying to catch on to stuff. It's ridiculous considering how short a belt is. A children's belt.
Yeah.
I went like 2 feet.
Yeah, you had imagination. You came up with what you had.
Oh, and there's the lava. The floor is made of lava. Everybody did that.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what's funny about pirates being... The thing about pirates being so fascinating to children and that families embrace it is kind of strange, considering pirates were known for pillaging, stealing, stabbing, killing, raping, plundering. It's just weird that...
Being filthy.
What?
Being absolute pirates were also absolutely filthy and always drinking rum.
Yeah, they're nothing like you see. I mean, Johnny Depp's like the sweet version of the pirates.
Pretty much, yeah. This one, oh god, these guys are really evil. These are just monstrous.
I think pirates were only popular, though, in cartoons because if you look at the history of pirate movies over the last, 40, 50 years, they're all just, huge flops.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't...
Oh, gosh. Especially, oh god, Cutthroat Island with Gina Davis.
Yeah, and there's Pirates with Walter Matthau, which, Yellowbeard with Monty Python crew. Well, sort of the Monty Python crew.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a couple others, but the only thing I ever remember being successful was the Muppet Treasure Island and then Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh yeah, Muppets Treasure Island. No one can take away that musical number. What I like about this one is that, yeah, I mean, I'm glad it's set in another world, and also the concept of that flying creature, that little parrot monkey. There's a huge, he's hybrid AU. That is definitely different.
You know what's weird about that is that Roddy McDowall, one of my favorite underrated actors, he did the voice of that character in the miniseries. But when they re-edited it and added it to the regular run, they replaced Roddy McDowall with Frank Welker, who, I mean, I love Frank Welker, but he's kind of a voice you hear a lot in cartoons. I mean, he's probably done 1,000 different voices. But, Roddy McDowall only ever did this in, I think, Batman, the animated series, and I kind of wish they would...
He was the Mad Hatter.
Yeah, the Mad Hatter. He was a great voice, and I just don't understand why they replaced him.
I loved him in Alfred Hitchcock Presents. I loved his episode, and I also loved him. I loved his appearance on Carol Burnett.
Well, of course, everybody knows him as during the Planet of the Apes series as Cornelius, Caesar, and Galen, and then he would go on to do Fright Night 1 and 2, which is how I discovered him. I just absolutely love him in those roles.
Fright Night, yeah, no, Fright Night was definitely something I first remembered him from. And then I looked at his career later on. But I do want to say the voice of Rin here, Prince Rin, is George Newbern, I want to say.
Yeah, that's right.
He's the voice of Superman from the Justice League series and also Injustice. Pretty much anything to do with Superman, and almost animated movie-wise, it's going to be his voice.
Yeah, I was going to say, Tim Daly, I think, was right before he took over. Tim Daly, I believe, did the voice in the regular cartoon. The one that was on for 3 years. But then I believe George Newbern is the one has been consistent since then.
Yeah, and he was also the voice of Sephiroth in Advent Children and Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah, it's funny is I didn't even know George Newbern. I didn't know until you said something. I looked up his career. He's been doing tons and tons of voice work. But I knew him primarily from being in the Father of the Bride series, those 2 movies.
Oh, yeah. He was, you were telling me he was, Steve Martin's son-in-law.
Right. And other than that, I really had not seen him in anything. I kind of thought he disappeared, He's like one of those actors you would see on an episode of CSI or Law & Order here and there, and that was it. He was just a working actor.
Like a guest actor, yeah. But no, yeah, he's been doing a lot of voice work. I mean, he's definitely known for Superman now, so, he might be back for Injustice 2 if they get that game going. But honestly, I will say this about this overly massive pirate ship. Seriously? I mean, I guess, Captain Bligh, the villain, I guess he does need it because look how fucking big it is.
I know, it's huge. The colors are pretty flamboyant, but I'm assuming it's just because, A, that's the color palette of the cartoons at the time. They started moving towards brighter and pastel colors. Trust me, look at the last couple runs of the G.I. Joe characters. Absurd colors for a military team.
Oh, I know, yeah, and then everything started to get a little bit more out there and outrageous.
I blame.
Which I kind of like. I do like bright colors, especially like if it was something like Tron and you had like those neon outlinings. I like it to be brighter. And honestly, though, I will say this: storing to show this, everybody got these giant monstrous worms in water. You don't. Honestly, this is what you don't do. You don't store giant monsters on a boat. One, they could probably break out and destroy the ship.
I don't. I still think I'm just absolutely fascinated. Not just because of the quality of, the animation, the music's great, the voice work's great, but also the fact it had a more serious tone than a lot of the cartoons. Even G.I. Joe and Transformers, they were geared towards boys, but their plots weren't very sophisticated. I think only thing I could compare to it was maybe the scripts that J. Michael Straczynski would do for He-Man, which were pretty dense considering the cartoons at the time. But this is above and beyond.
And I love how it starts off like so dire, like holy shit, dude! I'm like, Rin and the spider monkey. I keep forgetting his name. The spider parrot thing, or the monkey parrot thing. I keep forgetting his name.
Nibbler.
Nibbler. That's right.
No, D.
Nibbler. Okay. Yeah, it sounds a lot like Nibbler.
Which is a character in something else, I think.
So it's just those two, getting the band together, or looking for a band of miscreants to help him on his journey to find the 13 treasures.
Which they never find all 13 because the series ended to. Well, here's the weird thing. The series started off as a miniseries of 5 episodes, and then it was successful enough they went into the full series. They were supposed to wrap up the storyline in that first season. Why? I have no idea. If it's going to be successful, maybe they were just going to have a new quest on the second season. But for some reason, they kept expanding it. So by the time the second season ended, which is very short, they only found 8 of the 13 treasures. And then Warner Brothers took over Hanna-Barbera, saw that it was too expensive, the ratings weren't high enough, and they just canceled it.
No, it's like something like that you gotta finish. You can't just leave about more than halfway. 8 out of 13?
Yeah,
they had 5 left, man.
Why didn't they just do a miniseries or some sort of cheaper continuation? I mean, they already cut the budget from the first season to the second season because, like I said, they let Roddy McDowall go, but also there's a really great actor by the name of Hector Elizondo. He would do the voice of, I want to say it was Ayaz. They replaced him as well with someone cheaper.
Always about the money. Always about the fucking money. But you know what? You generate enough money that just because you still profit, but if you don't profit as much, that's not a loss. That's not a loss. You're still profiting. That's what doesn't fucking make sense.
Yeah, and in this day and age, they could continue it, with a Kickstarter program. Just have people who are fans of the show, chip in and make the episodes. Cartoons are a little more expensive and intricate than like a movie, but what's that?
Like the movie Veronica Mars,
right?
That's what they did. And it generated the money, and all the fans funded it.
Years ago, I want to say it was Dynamite Comics. They were trying to option the rights to the characters so they could continue and finish the storyline in a comic book, but it never came to fruition.
Right.
Here's the weird thing, though, is I think Marvel Comics did a miniseries, and they did some original stories afterwards, but it only lasted 9 issues. I keep interrupting you. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, honestly, I mean, that's kind of like what DC did with He-Man. They're bringing it back through a comic book series. And, I mean, the Shadow's been coming up. Yeah, I mean, I think, it's definitely one of those indie labels that should pick up something like that and be able to continue it. I'd love to see how this...
Sorry, you got cut off a little bit there.
Yeah, I'm ready.
So, but the other thing is, like, Dan O'Hurley, he was part of the cast. He wasn't cheap either. If you remember, he was in Last Starfighter. He was also the old man in RoboCop series. Behave yourselves!
Dan Hurley, and then he passed away, I think, shortly after, a little while later.
And then some of the guest characters they would have, Brock Peters, great character actor. If you saw his picture, you know who he was. Peter Cullen, of course, famous voice work. Peter Cullen, I want to say that he did some serious Transformers voices. Am I stupid here?
Peter Cullen?
Yeah,
wasn't he...
Optimus Prime, duh. And then, of course, Tim Curry. That would be his second pirate series in such a short period of time.
Yeah.
The other series would be Peter Pan and the Pirates, where he did play Captain Hook. This one, though, he plays Conk. Great name, Conk.
Conk.
I'm gonna name my first child Conk.
Caveman? Is he a caveman or a monkey?
I don't know. I should watch the series more. Like I said, I've only seen the first episode, but I'm definitely finishing this. This show is just absolute the tops for me.
Okay. Yeah.
He was a short, fat pirate.
Yeah. He's a dwarf. He's a dwarf man.
Basically.
He was itty bitty. He got tossed around a lot. You could just keep him in your sack and he could feed you rum. He's like, hey, here you go, sir.
So did pirates have limited access to other drinks? What's up with the rum? Was it just really easy to get because they're in the Caribbean? They couldn't get vodka or bourbon or anything? It's just always rum.
I think that's where it was brewed most heavily, and plus rum just has a nice taste to it. I mean, I don't drink it before 10 a.m., but I do drink a lot of rum. That's my favorite drink.
Yeah, you just wait till 10:05, right?
Yeah, I wait till 5 minutes after.
Is it brunch? All right. Did you ever play the games, the video games for the Sega and the Nintendo?
The Super Nintendo, yeah, I did. It was a fun action adventure kind of game. I was like, oh shoot, I didn't know I could run again. I should have known because that's when video games had instruction booklets. These days, you just get a little, like half a pamphlet, like a little sheet of paper.
Well, now they force you to go through the tutorial.
Yeah, well, that and also the tutorials are, kind of happen throughout the video game themselves.
So if you remember, the game, was it a side scroller or was it like a fighting game?
It was like a side scroller, kind of like a Streets of Rage or Final Fight.
Okay, so it was more like a beat 'em up.
Yeah, an action adventure beat 'em up.
Yeah, other than that, I mean, they had the toys. Of course, I don't know if this was created specifically to make toys or they made toys after the cartoon, because some of the design on these, they look specifically like action figure style, even though it's really... Okay, so the toys came out at the same time as the cartoon?
Yeah, and I kid you not, I mean, Ren, I hope they completed his sword. That's what I want. I want that sword to be complete. I want to know what it looks like.
Well, we'll just have to watch the rest of the episodes, but like I said, it's really hard to find, so I think maybe the best bet is probably just buying the whole series. I don't even think it's that expensive. It's probably like $14 on Amazon or something, even though I think Amazon's truly the devil.
Yeah. That's usually where I do buy some of my online Funko Pop items, my Game of Thrones ones.
Yeah?
Actually, yeah. They have good deals on there, too.
The other thing is, this was a very short run. They did a RPG game. I don't know if it's for PC. That's all it says. I was looking up on Wikipedia, and it says a Pirates of Darkwater role-playing game was released in 1994, but had a limited production run. I don't know if they mean like in a computer or like the old school RPG. Well, actually, they probably still make them, don't they? I haven't been in one of those shops in forever. Do they still make RPG board games?
They have like a Dungeons and Dragons kind of roll the dice kind of.
Oh, okay.
Game. But yeah. Honestly, like I said, I mean, it's cool how, it does kind of stay true to, like, certain pirate origin, like going from port to port, hanging out in the tavern, looking over maps and treasures.
Well, I like the fact that it was a continuous story and not one of those where it was the same thing every week. As much as I love some of the 80s cartoons, a lot of them were just repetitious. They were all formula. I mean, it was a different storyline, but same kind of build-up outcome.
Yes, exactly. And... also, like I said, I mean, not to mention you get this really cool, like, handy, guy who's an actual pirate who looks like he's from, like, Eastern Seas. And then you also get, then he gets this hot girl in a pink dress, like, who'd be from the Middle East.
So, yeah, the guy you're looking at right now, that's the voice that Hector Elizondo did. And if you saw him, he's another one of those actors. He's just a character actor. He shows up in, like, every Gary Marshall movie, like the Flamingo Kid, Pretty Woman, stuff like that.
Oh yeah. Oh jeez. Yeah, no.
So one of the things
I really hope.
Go ahead.
I do hope they bring this back somehow.
Here's the funny thing is, a few years later, when this would be re-aired on the Cartoon Network, one of the... It probably pissed off a lot of people, but they had a thing where they would send in questions and they would answer it saying that there were unaired episodes of Pirates of Darkwater and they were going to air them, which made everybody like really excited. And when it was time to air them, all they did was show like a short video of a kitty lapping at milk. That was it. Saying that they erased the episodes and aired their cat drinking milk instead. So,
Motherfucker.
I know, that's kind of a slap in the face to the fans because they're probably eagerly awaiting, and then to get that joke, it's terrible.
I know, it makes you want to stab that guy in the dick.
Well, Cartoon Network, or as they call it now, the CN, because they refuse to be associated with cartoons. Lame.
I know. I'm like, what the hell? You guys were Cartoon Central the entire time. I never even watched like when I was still going on. I never even watched Nickelodeon anymore because of that.
Yeah, and then they have Boomerang, but Boomerang's changing too. I mean, when Boomerang started, they were filling the gap that Cartoon Network no longer had for the older, like the 60s and 70s cartoons. So if you wanted to watch Yogi Bear, you wanted to watch like Popeye cartoons or Looney Tunes, that's where you go.
Or Jabberjaw.
Yeah, but then they changed it, so now Boomerang is airing everything that the Cartoon Network would air, like Dexter's Laboratory, Johnny Bravo. Is that your phone? What is that? Are you stepping on a duck?
My phone did vibrate.
Oh, okay. It sounds like you're stepping on a duck or farting or something.
Yeah, it'll do that. But anyway, so but yeah, no. Honestly, I think what would be really cool if this came back like as an HD, like an HD like updated video game, kind of like what they did with Double Dragon Neon, DuckTales.
Yeah, you could continue. Like, do you want to remake the original game, or do you want to make an all new game and possibly like encompass the entire storyline that was missed out? Like you would complete the 13.
Yeah, because in the actual video game you find all 13 treasures. But I think like update the video game, put in voice work, because that's what they did with DuckTales. They got the original cast members and they voiced over all the their original parts. And like it looked like you were part of the cartoon. Like the graphics were that amazing.
That's really good. I want to play that. I remember playing DuckTales and Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers and thinking they were just like amazing, even though they were kind of geared at. Well, they weren't geared at kids because they were pretty challenging. But I mean, based on those kind of cartoons, when you're like 13 or 14, it seems like kind of beneath you to play them. But they're awesome games.
Yeah, and I want to see that Rin sword reforged.
Did you finish this series? Did you watch every episode?
Action RPG.
Jacob, did you finish the series?
No, I didn't finish the series.
Okay, so you don't know how it turns out.
I did watch a few.
You're cutting out really bad. I was asking you if you finished the series, or did you get to the point where they finished like some of their adventures?
I don't know. I remember watching these as a child, and I would say, they would, get a treasure chest, then Vlad would try to ruin everything, and then the Dark Water shows up, and it's like, oh, they got to escape from that. Hey, we got away, we succeeded, yay! But not an actual ending.
So, do you know who created this series? I looked this up, and I was really surprised. No.
What about it? Did it end it so soon?
No. I was asking you, who do you think created? I mean, did you see who created this show? It really surprised me.
Who was it?
David Kirshner, the creator of Child's Play and, oddly enough, American Tail. Two wildly different.
I know, this guy's got a great imagination. I mean, a killer doll that's hilarious and fucking...
I know, it almost is like the yin-yang of children's programming. But other than that, he also was in charge of so many cartoons, it's insane. He was in charge of A Pup Named Scooby-Doo, Tom and Jerry Kids Show, Gravedale High, the Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures, the Addams Family cartoon, The Fish Police, Capital Critters, Two Stupid Dogs, SWAT Cats, Johnny Bravo, The Powerpuff Girls. These commercials suck. Yeah, so I mean, after American Tail, he was hired to join Hanna-Barbera and was basically running their production. But at the same time, he was still doing the Child's Play movie, so that's kind of funny.
Yeah, it is. Especially Child's Play. Child's Play was like, I guess, him venting his humor and frustration out on pretty much everything.
Yeah, and he's involved in every single one of those movies. I think he even directed the last one.
Yeah, Son of Chucky.
No, no. There was a new one that came out last year called Curse of Chucky, which a lot of people have even said it's better than the original. So I got to see it.
Oh wow, Curse of Chucky, which is like well, I do know they brought back Brad Dourif.
Yeah, it's a direct-to-video title, so it's kind of under the radar. It wasn't in theaters.
Damn.
I know. I guess it's a sign the series is kind of coming to an end.
Hopefully it was funny. Hopefully it was funny.
Yeah, I want to see it. They said it was scary as hell.
Oh wow, scary as hell.
But he also
Honestly, it's a doll. It's not fun.
Yeah. Well, that first one's pretty kick-ass. I like the first one. The second and third one are okay, but Son of Chucky, that was the end for me. I was like, oh, this is crap.
That one, I mean, that one was just nothing but comedy. I love John Waters' part in it, though, where he's just taking pictures, and he goes, oh, God bless the little people.
Who doesn't love John Waters?
Wow. I mean, knowing he created Pirates of Darkwater, I'm like, I hope he does bring it back somehow.
Yeah, he said something. He was still, like, trying to work on some way of bringing it back. Here's the other things he created. He did The Page Master, Cats Don't Dance. He was a production of the Flintstones movie. He created Hocus Pocus. But finally, he did Titan AE. Did you see that?
Oh, I loved all those movies.
Okay, so
Titan
here's
AE, that was amazing.
Here's the thing: is Titan AE, in a subtle way, was him continuing, sort of continuing the Pirates of Darkwater, but in a space setting, that kind of storyline. So while they wouldn't greenlight, Pirates continuing, he tried to have that same kind of feel in Titan AE. I'd have to see it again because it seems right, but I haven't seen it since it came out.
Wow. Yeah, dude, that's pretty freaking amazing.
Yeah, his crew is really strong.
Honestly, it had Matt Damon, Drew Barrymore, I want to say Nathan Lane.
That sounds right.
Yeah, Nathan Lane, Bill Pullman, John Leguizamo, and Janine Garofalo.
Man, you got one of those memories, man. That's amazing.
I just know my actors and actresses.
Yeah.
But yeah, oh gosh. But yeah, no, like I said, I'm hoping that it comes back as an HD video game, and and oh yeah, Turtles in Time, Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Turtles in Time. That's going to be get an HD remake.
Nice, that's the one I love. I love that one. I also love the arcade game.
Oh yeah. Oh, the arcade game. Oh gosh, classic. That's what it is. I thought that's what Turtle in Times was.
No, okay, so it's Ninja Turtles, the original. I think there's a Turtles arcade game is immediately after that. Then it goes into 2, 3, 4.
Wow.
So the last thing I'll say about Pirates of Darkwater, besides the fact it's amazing, its premiere was kind of convoluted. So the first 5 episodes they aired on Fox Kids, and it was just called Darkwater. When it ended and it was successful, Hanna-Barbera took the rights back, re-edited, and then revoiced a lot of the stuff. So that's why you don't hear Roddy McDowall in the episode I just watched. They had re-edited his voice out and replaced it with Frank Welker. The complete first season, which included the miniseries, aired on ABC, but then the second season, which is much shorter, aired back on Fox, but as a block called The Fantastic World of Hanna-Barbera.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and then of course it ran on Cartoon Network for years.
Okay. Yeah, and as far as Pirates of Darkwater, I mean, it's kind of like what they did with Dragon Ball Z after Dragon Ball after they got like new owners, they had the actors and like some of the parts. Because I know up until like Vegeta, up until like after Goku landed on Namek, and the Funimation took over, and then just pretty much revoiced everybody. It even gave a certain voice actor multiple parts, so you can kind of tell it was them, and it was a lot cheaper. But yeah, like I said, I'm hoping if they do bring this back, I hope George Newbern will be involved, as will all the other original voice actors and actresses.
Well, they're all still alive, I believe, except Roddy McDowall. Of course, they replaced him, so you just used Frank Welker again. I believe Hector Elizondo is still alive, but they also replaced him with Jim Cummings. So it just depends who's available. Yeah, you gotta get George Newbern, but I'm sure they can get him.
Yeah, they would. But yeah, like I said, I mean, it was a fantastic series, isn't it?
Yeah, I was really enjoying it. Every once in a while, like you'll suggest a show I have no idea about. Like I struggled through Sky Surfers, I have to say, but this one I had no problem whatsoever.
Well, I love the concept of sky surfers. I mean, freaking cars that morph into like jetpack surfboards and with missiles on them. Who would not want that shit?
Yeah.
I know Californians. I know surfers would.
All right, so I'll say this: the last words about the show. Yes, I'm going to finish the show. It was great. I hope they continue it. I have to thank the people who voted on the show. We had a contest, and we're going to do another one. The contest was between this and Biker Mice from Mars. I don't know why I had amnesia all of a sudden. And it was almost unanimous. I think there was 2 votes for Biker Mice from Mars, but nonstop. Just people have so much love for this show. I mean, there's no reason why we shouldn't do it.
Oh, yeah, of course. Oh, hands down. I mean, I was planning on doing this anyway. I didn't matter which order.
Yeah, that's true. But I always want to test. You don't want to do an episode. Well, we kind of do whatever we want, but we do also want to know if it's going to get any listeners. I mean, we're not making money off this, but at the same time, you want to make sure you're not doing it for no reason. So, I mean, we'll probably do this again, but if you want to catch any of the older episodes, just look it up on retrorocket.weebly.com. We're on Facebook under Retro Rocket Entertainment, and we're probably going to do one more fantasy episode. I'm not sure what we'll do that next, but do you have an idea? Do you have another show you want to do immediately?
I do want to do, let's see, there's DuckTales.
Well, we're going to say that for November. November is going to be all Disney month, so we'll do that. We'll do Darkwing Duck. Rescue Rangers. October is all Halloween monster-oriented cartoons.
Oh, yeah. Skeleton Warriors. Oh, Skeleton Warriors. That's perfect for Halloween.
Okay, we'll do that then. But we have one more. We'll just we'll let you know on Facebook what episode we'll do next. But we should probably stay in the fantasy realm.
I am trying to think of a fantasy one, but it'll come back to me later.
All right, we'll let you know on Facebook what our next episode will be, or maybe we'll let you vote if we have more than one that pops in our head. All right, have a good night. This is Michael signing off.
Good night, and don't forget to drink your rum.
Arr. What's a pirate's favorite letter?
Arr.
No, it's L. What? You're so racist. You're anti-pirate.
I'm a bigot. Oh, God.
All right, good night, everybody.